Did you say you're going to permanently disable people's Switch 2s?
Correct. Anyone caught with unauthorized modifications on their Switch 2 will have it permanently disabled.
You're joking, right?
Do I look like I'm joking to you, Breadbox?
You can't just brick people's devices. Once they've bought it, it's personal property.
Actually, we can, cause it's not their property.
What do you mean it's not their property? They bought it.
According to our updated end-user license agreement, buying a Switch 2 is simply buying a license to use Switch products and services.
Wait, what?
In fact, Switch 2 game cards won't have any game information on them.
So game cards are just physical versions of digital keys now?
Precisely.
You're not gonna get away with this. You're gonna get sued.
They won't be able to.
What do you mean?
We added that to the license agreement as well.
So if they agree to the updated license agreement, they can't pursue any legal action against you?
Correct.
Somebody please wake me up from this nightmare.
Future with their policies. Today's video actually comes from Magbo Gaming, my editor. We'll be looking at his insights into what's going on with Nintendo and going into it further. Also, don't forget to follow us over on Rumble if you're missing content. If you want more of my content, we have a lot of exclusive content over on Rumble, so you can go follow us over there. It's linked in the description of the video. And also, guys, if you want to learn how to buy, sell, trade crypto and make massive profit, replace your 9-to-5 job using cryptocurrency, head over to Angry's Crypto Academy, which is also linked in the description of the video. And now let's go ahead and just jump right into Magbo's video. And his channel will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go check him out and support him.
Nintendo's new policy update means you must waive your right to join class action lawsuits. Instead, they want disputes handled through customer service or arbitration. You can opt out by mailing a letter to Nintendo within 30 days. Yes, like with a stamp, in 2025.
Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here. It's been a while. I haven't made a blog like this showing my face and all like that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I will not be pre-ordering the Switch 2. I have no intention of getting the Switch 2 anytime soon. Especially because first the prices at $450 for the base Switch 2 or $500 for with the package, which is a pretty decent deal because if you get Mario Kart Tour with the package deal, you will be saving $30 of Mario Kart Tour pretty much. Kind of weird they will not include Welcome Tour in the Switch 2 bundle, but honestly, I could wait a while, like a good while. If you guys want to pick up Switch 2, best of luck to you. The pre-orders were pretty crazy. People missed out on it, and people got the pre-orders by luck because the website keeps crashing. Like, I don't know what's wrong with these people, that they don't have enough servers to be able to handle the demand. Maybe it's more that they can actually do, but whatever it is, I think they're gonna have to start going back to the old methods of picking up a pre-order, which is going to a store, waiting in the line, and getting your pre-order like GameStop did. And then every other store should do the same and not put it online, because online is where the scalper is gonna buy the living crap out of it. But if you just do it in person, you could control the scalper activity a lot better. So, you know, that's something that's gonna have to be done in the future. Like, they're gonna have to go back to the old route where scalpers have no way to pre-order like a billion of them online in order for them to sell it for this price right here, $750 for a Switch 2. You out of your mind. Literally, you're out of your mind. Yeah, so that makes the $450 and $500 seem cheap, even though they're not cheap. PS5 is still freaking $500. That's why I don't have it yet. I'm never paying $500 for a freaking console unless I'm rich in crypto. And I'm not joking around there. So, honestly, I could survive not getting a Switch 2. It's not something like, oh my god, I need. Yes, I want to play Mario Kart World. Yes, I want to play Donkey Kong Bonanza at some point. But I'm not in any rush to play these games, as good as they are. Because I do have a big backlog of especially Switch games right here. Look at all the Switch games I have. A little more than half of these I have not played yet, but I played almost half of these already. As an adult, you don't have all the time in the world in order to go through all the games, but I'm actually going through my backlogs right now. I haven't been buying too much games as of late. I haven't been going out because money is tight right now in this economy. The little that I make, I have to do it for my needs and not for my wants. And gaming is not in the top of my list. As much as I'm a game collector, as much as I love buying games and all, but it's not my main focus at this time. I will be going back to game hunting pretty soon.
I got it during Black Friday sale, so I did save almost $300 on it, and then the money that I was able to, the savings from it, I was able to do a lot of upgrades. I was able to add 96 gigabytes of RAM. I was able to add an extra 4 terabytes of SSD. So now it's an absolute beast. But and that actually ended up putting me at a little over $2,000 for all of the upgrades. But I did those myself. But ultimately, imagine after spending all of this money on my laptop, all of this money to do all of these things, and then being told, okay, well, now this is a license, so we're going to disable the hardware. Many of you are like, well, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah. There's a thing called proprietary hardware. Apple uses this, and they basically have a method of preventing you from being able to reuse the parts in their hardware. Don't ask me how, but it's a form of proprietary hardware, will only work in their devices now. Okay. And it's insane. And I've heard that they also have things like geo tracking for the devices. And maybe even the parts. So if you try to use the part somewhere else, they can locate the part. It's madness. It's beyond madness. But this is what they are trying to do. They want you to own nothing, but it's going to backfire on them. And I'm going to tell you the reason right now why it's going to backfire big time, because now they're setting themselves up for a major legal challenge. I'm going to break this down for you momentarily, but this illustrates why you need to own cryptocurrency, because just like Nintendo can take your games away, the banks can take your money away. All right, your money is not safe in the bank. Hard times have arrived. Just like Magbo said early in the video, he doesn't have that kind of money to go throwing it away right now on a Nintendo Switch 2. That's most people right now. That's honestly most people right now. Like, yeah, you're not going to get my money. It's only the Nintendo diehards who are very, very toxic that are going down this path. I actually have a video from Balogi, and she's a bigger Nintendo YouTuber, and she's refusing to pick up the Switch 2 as well.
You really shouldn't buy the Nintendo Switch 2. Not new, not used, not even from Miyamoto himself, bro. Even though it's sold out everywhere, let me save you at least $400, or was it? I think it was $500. Yeah, it was just. I just know it was expensive. Boy, this console isn't just overpriced, it's full of gamer tax. Like, do you not even know what that means? You're literally gonna be paying more than what you're gonna be receiving. Like, make that make sense.
Stop it. Get some help.
Let's talk about game cartridges. Those cute little things I used to go ahead and buy and collect and, put out these little cases. Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, these are no more, bro.
You gotta be ashamed of yourself, nigga.
These are not going to be considered game keys, and if you don't know what that means, it's basically a glorified access code. It's very simple. You can search it up yourself. I don't have to explain that to you. But you're basically paying $70 for a physical cartridge that doesn't have the game on it. Huh? Like, you can literally just download it like I have Mario Kart here. Like, let's be for real. That's not even the worst part. You're actually paying an extra $10 for these, and they're not going to have the game on them. So basically, collecting these will be useless. So not only are we losing true physical games, we're paying extra for an illusion to make it seem like we have the games. No more preservation, no more resale value, and there's no ownership at all. I would really hate to be the guy that's like, yo bro, let me show you my entire Nintendo Switch 2 collection. What you mean by that, bro? My entire collection, I bought every physical game copy and it just looks great, doesn't it? Wait, so you actually went ahead and bought the game card when it's just an access code, it's not the actual game? Yeah bro, I've been doing my whole life, so you know how to make sure I collect these also. But you do know there's no value into these anymore, right? Like, this is actually kind of pointless. You could just downloaded the game. Nah, bro, this is worth it. Bro, are you good? I have these downloaded on my console. I could literally access them whenever I wanted to and re-download them if I wanted to. There's no point for you to have these. Nah, bro, it's just not the same. I bought it for the vibes. You know what, bro? Forget it. I'm switching to Steam Deck.
First, I'm going to break down the reasons why this is all going to backfire. But guys, you got to learn about crypto, because right now Bitcoin has hit like 100. I think it just hit 110,000. It's hit brand new highs. And, crypto is skyrocketing. It's skyrocketing. Crypto is 100% skyrocketing. Trump has made it very clear where things are headed. Okay. And you can it's almost at 100. It's almost at 110,000 right now. almost at 110,000. It's at 109,666 dollars. So it's very close to 110,000. It's this is the highest it's ever been, and we're on our way to 200,000. We actually saw the market correction a few weeks ago where it dipped down to like under $80,000. That was the market correction, and now it's on this trajectory upward now to peaking to going towards 200K. Once it hits 200K, guys, you have to understand all the other cryptos are also going to skyrocket as well, especially the ones that are going to be heading into crypto ETFs. You don't want to mess around. You can sit and say crypto is a scam and listen to the idiots that are saying this as they get left behind. And some of them are already invested in crypto too. Because I'm looking at some of these idiots talking about crypto, and some of them seem to actually know about crypto, but they've probably been burned on crypto. And now what they're doing, because they're fools, they're trying to make fast money. They're not looking for long-term gains. And what ends up happening here is I suspect some of these people who are bashing crypto have their own crypto reserves. They already have Dogecoin. They already have a bunch of other coins in there that they've invested in. All right. So if you want, so you all need to go and invest in crypto very, very quickly, because it is hell on earth right here, right now. All right. The Fed is already predicting that it's going to be a volatile year with the tariffs, even though inflation is evidently going down. Inflation going down doesn't mean that prices are going down. Inflation going down only means that prices are going up slower. So when they say inflation is cooling, and inflation has gone from 3.5 to 3, that just means that that prices are only going up slightly slower. They're not. If when prices go down, that's called deflation. The prices have gone up, and they're going to continue going up indefinitely. You guys have to wake the hell up right now. And that's why you need to go and invest in crypto and learn about crypto as much as you can. And Angry's Crypto Academy is the premier place to help you do just that.
Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom, it's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
User says, I'm scared to buy a Switch 2 because of the new user agreement. And I want to be clear to everybody that's watching me. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Apple, Samsung, all have the same user agreement. Now, if you're never going to mod your Switch,
see, guys, you have shills like that guy who are basically these are the shills, these are the Nintendo shills that are trying to make any of these companies can do this. They all have that. No, they don't. This guys, so I'm gonna break it down for you now why this is likely going to be contested heavily. Nintendo's updated terms of service have sparked controversy, particularly the clause that allows the company to remotely Disable a user's console if it detects unauthorized modifications or piracy. This raises serious legal concerns regarding consumer rights.
The more I hear about the Nintendo Switch, the less I want to buy it. Not only are digital games $80, fucking physical games are $90. The physical key card of the game doesn't even have the game on it. You have to buy the card for $90, insert it into the console, download the game on the card, and then you can play it. Why would I want to do that? Why would anybody want to do this? For a price range of $90 fucking dollars? Are you crazy? Then the price of the console is insanely cheaper in Japan. Price of the console in the United States is $450, but in Japan it's $330? Yes, I understand this is the tariffs, but good fucking God. And then they made something called game sharing, in which if you're on the same internet, you can all game share one game. This sounds good in practice, but in reality, it's gonna be so fucking laggy. It's the reason that this won't be releasing with the console. This will only be happening over time with updates. I'ma be honest, bro, I really don't know about getting this console at all. Everything about it screams something that gamers don't fucking want. Especially in a portable console. When you have competitors like this Steam Deck, I look at this and say, why would I purchase this? I don't fucking know, man. Hopefully they go back and switch something up. But as of right now, I don't think this is even worth it.
This is why I'm saying, guys, it can backfire on Nintendo, but this is not, oh my gosh, guys, it's much more than that. It's way more than that.
Nintendo's first strike was discontinuing the Wii. Second strike was discontinuing the DS family. Third strike? You mean to tell me you want me to grapple and scrapple with children to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2 when I have yet to hear one positive thing about it? We don't own the $80 games. We don't own the $450 console. Like, I'm sorry, why am I going broke for a conditional licensing that you can revoke at any moment? I heard backward compatibility hasn't even been confirmed, and the list of complaints just goes on and on and on and on. I'm personally going to keep my Switch that I already have. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm fine with the games that I have. Like, yeah, I might be missing out on like the whole Mario Kart World thing that they're trying to do and blah, blah, blah. But my Switch is fine. I am going to research into other handhelds that have more of a widespread range of games. Because I feel like people act like gaming handhelds outside of the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck literally don't exist. As if Logitech doesn't have the G Cloud, Lenovo has the Legion Go. And there's so many different ones. We're not even getting into the Japanese ones. Let me know if I should make a video for each handheld, like explaining their different features. And let me know if you're about to drop almost $500 on a Switch 2. And if so, why?
But where this is going to actually get worse, guys, is the fact that because of what Nintendo's doing, these people who built these emulators like Yuzu and so forth, these were just like passion projects for like people like guys who had like spare time or were just messing around. And Nintendo went after them. A lot of these people who did this, who built this technology, were not even like crazy professionals. Now, with so many people saying that they cannot afford to purchase a Switch 2, or rather, they can purchase a Switch 2, but they're not going to spend $80 for games, as well as they feel like Nintendo has now wronged them. You're going to see online piracy skyrocket. Now you're going to see the real professionals step in. Now you're going to see all of these, because it's not illegal. The emulators are not illegal, and Nintendo knows this, even though they tried to take them offline and shut them down. But emulators are not illegal. In fact, it was on, I think Yuzu or one of them was on Steam at one point, and then Nintendo had it removed. However, again, this can all backfire on Nintendo, especially with the emulator situation, where you may end up seeing emulators eventually back on Steam, where courts say, you know what? Yeah, by the way, Nintendo, what you're doing over there with the emulators, cut it out.
So if you are picking up a Nintendo Switch 2, I'm actually genuinely concerned for you. And please, like, take it from me, like, someone who's been a part of it, like, from the very, very beginning, and I have one right here. I mean, I've had all of them, the different models. I'm actually really scared for you. Let me explain. The first thing is the technological advancements are very poor. The innovation is a magnetic Joy-Con, and maybe use it as a mouse. That's really bad. The hardware specs are compared to a PS4 Xbox One. That's also very bad. That's 12-year-old hardware. That's scary. Definitely do not pick one up, okay? Save yourself. I'll pick one up and I'll show you guys how it is and how bad it functions, okay? Nintendo is just, they've blown it. They have absolutely blown it.
Because even the Switch 2 is using emulation, partial emulation, to play Switch 1 games. The Nintendo Switch 2 cannot natively play Nintendo Switch 1 games, so it's using a combination of emulation and a compatibility layer to translate portions of the game that it cannot run natively to make the game actually operate on the Switch 2. So they're using emulations themselves, even like for like Nintendo Switch Online. All of these games, like for the NES and GameCube, and now GameCube is coming to Switch 2. All of that is emulation. So Nintendo is using emulation. For Nintendo to say that emulators are illegal is absolute BS, because they are using emulators themselves, and we know this is not. So, guys, you're going to have some big dogs stepping up. That's my prediction. You're going to have big dogs stepping up, and it's not going to be one or two little companies. It's going to be big companies, and some of these emulators are going to be paid products. And if Nintendo thinks that they're going to take everyone out, as soon as the way it's been working is like they take one down, and there are multiple different versions, and there are multiple different forks of like Yuzu and all of these mainstream emulators for Switch. But in the case of so Switch emulation is still alive and well right now, but holy cow, holy hell.
You don't own your Switch 2. You own the right to use it when Nintendo lets you. So, of course, it's been leaked that Nintendo might be adding tech to remotely kill your Switch 2 if you try to mod it, jailbreak it, or even repair it yourself. Not ban you, not void your warranty, brick it, as in you just paid full price for this thing that is now a paperweight. According to this leaked info, Nintendo's trying to crack down on modders hard. If you jailbreak your Switch 2, modify the OS, or even replace a part, you might trigger a security lock that turns the console into a paperweight. And it looks like the tech can remotely shut it down permanently. Now, they've already done stuff like this in the past. Nintendo's notorious for this, but this feels like it's next level. This could actually block legit users from fixing, customizing, or even preserving their consoles. I'm not cool with this. Guys, I am a Nintendo slut. This is not cool. Buy a console, you think it's yours. In 2025, you're just borrowing permission. If this is the future of gaming, we got a problem, but of course, I don't know if the mic is on.
I think it was Dr. Zaster's channel responding, screaming, "The One Piece is real. I will see all of you in the Grand Line. Oh, it's a pirate's life for me." This is why I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about, guys. All right, I'm not, and let me make this clear. I am not in any way promoting piracy. I'm not in any way supporting piracy. I'm not telling anyone to get involved in it. But I am pointing out that what Nintendo is doing will result in more people who are now not going to be able to purchase the Switch 2, and they feel that Nintendo has wronged them. Nintendo is ripping them off. They're going to, guys, one of the most popular things, trust me right now, they're already working on it. One of the biggest things that people will be looking forward to is being able to play Mario Kart World on a device that is not the Nintendo Switch 2. And of course, not only play it, but it's going to be running at 4K, because I don't think it's going to run at 4K. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that's going to run at 4K on the Switch. So being able to, I don't think so. So being able to play it at 4K or 1440p, 4K, and you have all of these packs that will improve the visuals and visual fidelity and details, reduce latency. I mean, guys, that's what's coming, and it's going to be so many people doing it. Nintendo cannot sue everyone. They can try, but especially when they are being scrutinized. Because guys, now they've turned so many consumers, people that were pro Nintendo, into adversaries right now. Because now they're telling us that they will now brick our Nintendo Switch consoles. It might sound like an idle threat. It is not. They are 100% serious. And as I mentioned earlier, what they are likely planning to do is to disable these things over time, because it's now a license. So your Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch OLED, they'll let you have a few more years enjoying it. They might even let you have 10 years, but it won't work in the future, guys. They'll gradually begin taking away features, functionality, tell you that your license is expired, and now your Switch OLED no longer works. Your Switch Lite, and they're like, you had plenty of time to enjoy it. You've had 10 years to enjoy it, all right? They've had all of these years to enjoy it. It only makes sense to move on right now. And because they've established a precedence and no one challenged them, they're able to get away with it. And other companies will now do this as well, where you don't own the laptop, you don't own the device, you own a license to it. Same thing with Apple. Apple is salivating over the idea, but Apple is in serious antitrust suits right now. I mean, these companies, many companies will try to follow Nintendo's lead, although I'm not sure how much Microsoft will go about it. I think that's what Microsoft was kind of thinking about doing at one point, though, when they were trying to switch over to a subscription model for Windows, where basically they were trying to turn Windows into a service instead of being like an operating system that you purchase a license for. They were trying to turn it into a subscription model where it's now a live service, and they've kind of done that to some degree, where if you want to use Office 365, you can't even read documents in it anymore. I think before you could at least read documents in it. Nope, you can't even read a PDF. You actually have to go and, or a file. You actually have to purchase a license to it if you want to use it. Like, that's how insane it is.
Don't you dare pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. Don't you pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. You better not. You better not pre-order that Nintendo Switch 2. All these half-baked games, these broken games, these day one patches, and you want to order a multi-$100 console? Don't you dare pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2.
They might install Linux on it and start using their old Nintendo Switch to run Linux to run homebrew games and for other purposes. Nintendo doesn't want that either. All right, you can't, guys. This is seriously bad stuff, and it's going to backfire on Nintendo big time. Everything from regulatory scrutiny, and they're thinking that because they're so, guys, look at what's happening to Pal World, where they're trying to bully Pal World into basically changing the game so much that it no longer looks anything like Pokemon, and they can basically then say that we now have the rights to these mechanics. And they'll basically damage the company so much that even if they do win in court, they'll financially harm them. And if Pal World tries, Pocket Pair, developer of Pal World, tries to recover anything, that's an entirely other large process. And Nintendo could say, well, we had the right to sue. But it's such an insane. They know exactly what they're doing. All right, they think that they're playing 3D chess, but they've become so arrogant that they don't understand that they can get screwed too. They can they think, guys, they're basically the criminal overlords of the video game industry. Like, Nintendo is looking for total world domination. And let me explain something to you. Nintendo is not solely a video game company. Nintendo started out as a trading card company, right? And Nintendo is always looking at what comes next. You have to understand how strange Nintendo is. Nintendo is the kind of company that would go into developing medical products, all right? A blood pressure medicine, a blood pressure machine, or devices for healthcare. I know I'm very serious. Nintendo is always looking at what comes next. They're like parasites trying to survive, okay, and looking for a host to feed on. So Nintendo can move, guys. Right now, what are they doing? They're moving into the movie industry. So they're basically getting their feet wet into the film industry. All right. Don't be surprised when Nintendo starts taking a parasitic approach to film and saying that, oh, well, we did this in our movie. There are visual elements in these movies, and so you can't make movies like this. You can't make movies about catching monsters. You can't make movies that have certain certain visual effects because we did it first, and we're going to file a patent for it. Like, think about this very carefully. You have movies like Avatar, and being told that, oh no, James Cameron owns the rights to this technology, so you cannot do anything similar. You cannot have, like, we have the right to this type of 3D technology, so you can't show 3D technology, like, you can't show visuals that display 3D technology like this. even though Nintendo copies everyone else.
Nintendo is an evil company, and unfortunately, they have the fan base for it. Recently, they made it a thing that if you were caught hacking or modifying the Nintendo Switch 2, they could basically just brick the whole thing and make it so that you could never use the Nintendo Switch 2 again. Honestly, for me, that's the same thing as having your car disabled for literally just changing something as simple as your tires. Not the same, but you get the point. Add that to the fact that when you pay your $80 to $90 for a physical copy of the game, you're not actually paying for the game itself. To them, you're apparently just buying a pass key physically to be able to play the game, and you're not actually going to have any of the save files on your system, or at least any of the main game files, that is. All of this is to combat against modding and hacking, but for me, modding personally has always been so good, especially with single player games, because they help a lot with replayability. And when it comes to hacking consoles, as long as you're not trying to hack them and then resell them for profit, I feel like it really doesn't hurt anybody because you're still getting sales and Nintendo's still making money. I feel like it varies person to person depending on personal experience, but let me know what you guys think and make sure to follow for more. Peace.
It's gonna get so bad out there.
Get the idea. So yeah, you know, I'm happy with this Switch and the Switch Lite. I mean, like, I could survive 2 full years without a Switch 2 if I have to. Probably gonna get a Switch 2 a lot sooner than that, but I'm just saying, like, every other consoles besides the Nintendo Switch itself, I got it pretty late in the line. So I'll tell you an example. Super Nintendo, it came out in around 1990 or 1991, right? I got it 2 years after. N64 came out in 1996. I got it 3 years after, in 1999. The GameCube came out in 2001, the end of it, and I got it in 2005. The DS came out in 2004. When I got it, 2007. 3DS, okay, I got it the same year because of the big price drop that they had, and I had a lot of money saved up for it already. And Switch, that's the only console I got at launch. Yes. Why? Because I had a really good stable job at the time. I said to myself, well, regardless of what happens, I have plenty of disposable income I could just spend on it, no problem. The economy was better at the time. The cost of living was a lot lower than it is right now. It was only $300, so I'm like, even though it doesn't have much games, I want to try out the technology. I want to make a video on it, so I did. But that's not the same today. $450 base Switch 2. It's not the same. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, PS2 came out in 2000. I got it in 2003. PS3, it came out in 2006. You know when I got the PS3? 2012. Yes, almost 6 full years since it came out. You see what I'm saying? I don't need a Switch 2 right away. PS4 came out in 2013. I got it in 2016. 3 years later almost. PS5 came out in 2020. I still don't have it yet. 5 years later almost. Why? Rat time! Because it's freaking expensive! Like, these base prices, they're just going up. They're not going down. And yet I have 3 games for it. And I'm still deciding, to be honest, I'm still deciding whether to just get it on the Steam Deck, which I already have. You know, get the digital version of the Steam Deck, or just wait it out. And to be honest, I'm just playing Final Fantasy 13 PS3 in the meantime. Because why? Because I have a backlog of a lot of games that I haven't played yet that I will get to. It will give me plenty of time to kill. So when I do have money for the Switch 2 or a PS5, sure, I'll start getting to those games. But until now, it's not something I am like, oh my god, FOMOing in. Do not FOMO to get the Switch 2. These pre-orders, just because they're sold out doesn't mean they're not coming back. If you want a Switch 2 at launch, you still have a chance to get it. But for those of you that waits for it for a while, because I'll tell you one thing, I'm gonna say it right here. I am never, and I can't say with 100% or fact, but 95% or more, I am almost never going to be supporting any game key cards at all. Any Switch 2 games that has the key card requirements that you literally have to download for the internet, you have internet dependency, that's not gonna happen. As a matter of fact, even if Mario Kart World did have a game key, I would not get it, no matter what, anytime soon until they fix that. Thankfully, that's not the case with the first parties, but if you saw my shorts, it got over 1,200 views already. And you know how I felt about the Bravely Default game key card requirement. And now there are other third parties doing game key cards as well. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to support that. And the reason why I say almost is because, well, what if the new Super Smash Bros. Game that I really want so badly has a game key card? And I have no other choice but to get it because I really love Smash Bros. That may be the only exception there. because I'll have no other choice. But to be honest, I'm hoping that don't be the case, because Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza are not gonna have game key cards. So you know how I feel about those game key cards. You've seen a couple of videos already from me talking about it. So yeah, are you gonna get the Switch 2 at launch, or are you gonna wait it out for several months to a year or more in order for you to like, okay, there is plenty of games now on the Switch 2 that I really want, and is only on Switch 2. It's cheaper now, especially secondhand on eBay or in pawn shops. They're more accessible, and I'm like, okay, maybe now's the best time for me to get the Switch 2 when the hype dies down. Because you are paying at a premium if you're just buying in the hype. If you're trying to buy from scalpers, which I don't recommend whatsoever, as a matter of fact, it's illegal now. Because if you list something on eBay, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the case, that these scalpers list Switch 2s for eBay for $750 or more dollars, you can report that thing and they could be taken down. Yes, they could be suspended from eBay for doing that, for listing pre-orders of Switch 2s out there. I think that's their way of eBay battling scalpers out there. And I think that needs to continue being enforced. Because if scalpers continue to do whatever they want, then scalpers gonna control the market like they did with the PS5.
And I mean, he's absolutely right about this. But guys, here's something interesting. For example, like Doom Eternal is facing Doom the Dark Ages is facing a lot of backlash right now. The game is really good. Gamers love it, but they're not going to spend $70 for this game. They're just not going to do it. They've made it very, very clear that they are not spending $70 for this game. And you know what's very crazy about the situation? Like, I will show you something right now. Like, if you look at my screen, here's an example of what of how much you can purchase this game for right now. Like, this game can be purchased for $9.99 on the Epic Game Store right now, and it was as low. And the price of Doom Eternal, which was $60 when it launched a few years ago. All right, this game has gone as low as, I'll tell you right now, historic low of $12 and $12.25. Okay, and you could buy it. And you could buy it in other. That's from official from official resellers, as I believe, as well as on Steam. So you get this game for as low as $12. All right, $12, and that was within a few years of it coming out. All right, shortly after it came out, and even just like even now, you guys can get this game right now for $15. $15 for Steam. $15 for Steam right now. You can get this game for $15 for Steam right now. Doom, guys, do you know how much the game that came out in 2016 cost? Doom 2016? It was $3.99 recently on Steam and on GOG, Good Old Games, which allows you to own your games. $3.99. These games are not worth it. They are 100% not worth it. They are these companies are ripping us the F off. They are robbing us effing blind. They are crooks. Don't get it twisted. These companies are like Nintendo is an organization that is dedicated to robbing from the consumer. Okay? So guys, I just wanted you to know that. I wanted you to see that. I wanted you to feel that so that you don't get messed up and get involved with any of this BS that is going around right now. Because this is highway robbery. It is highway robbery, y'all. But let me know, guys, if you want to watch the full video from Magbo, you can actually check out his channel. Again, it's linked description of the video. You know, shout out to Magbo for his great job editing content and helping to hold down the channel while I've been sick. I'm still not doing the greatest, but yeah, shout out to Magbo. Go check him out. I've linked him in the description of the video. And let me know what you guys think. If you agree that this is going to all backfire on Nintendo, where it's headed is that both they can face significant scrutiny from regulators, consumer protection groups, but also they're basically setting themselves up to launch the greatest era of piracy the world has ever seen. And the only ones that will actually be able to stand up to piracy are going to be platforms, specifically Steam, and to a lesser degree platforms like GOG. where people will be able to legally purchase their games. But in the case of Nintendo games, no, like everyone is like, guys, you're going to see some real competition coming now to the emulation market, where you're going to find amazing emulators that are going to be emulating Nintendo's games, and Nintendo won't really be able to do much to stop them, because emulators are not illegal. They could try to shut the sites down. They're only going to be reopened, and if they go to court and try to fight these people again, Nintendo might find themselves with many different battles, because, as I said, the arbitration agreement could end up being thrown out. And if it does, and it very likely will end up getting thrown out in various jurisdictions, people are going to still bring their lawsuits regardless. And it's going to, guys, this could be the thing, the straw that finally broke the camel's back. Either that, or Nintendo is basically going to rule over us and rule over humanity. Which one do you think? Which one do you choose? Nintendo's going to rule over humanity, and that's the end of it for us. Or people are going to start fighting back tooth and nail against Nintendo, and it may lead to not only extreme scrutiny, but to Nintendo facing extreme regulatory pressure, fines, and having to pay out major damages in class action lawsuits. Let me know what you think. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, and walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.